What's up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be playing part 1 of the Brandon Isabelle trial. If y'all are not familiar with this case, go ahead and check out my previous video where I give an introduction or an overview of this case. I am going to be breaking this trial up into 4 parts because it is pretty long, so make sure y'all hit that notification bell and subscribe to my channel if y'all like the content so that y'all get notified when the other parts of this trial is posted. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all enjoy the video. Comment down below what y'all think of the trial. This is the case of Brandon Isabelle.
Did suffer serious bodily injury in violation of Tennessee Code Annotated 39-13-305 against the peace and dignity of the state of Tennessee. Signed by the District Attorney General, Steve Mulroy. Indictment number 2203799. State of Tennessee versus Brandon Isabelle. A true bill signed by the foreperson of the grand jury on September 13th of 2022.
Ms. Fuchs, Mr. Massey.
The indictment. Mr. Isabelle, please not guilty.
Thank you. Does the state wish to make an opening statement?
We do, Your Honor.
Go ahead, please.
It was the morning of February 2nd, 2022. Cold, bleak. Mud Island, where the Wolf River meets the Mississippi, was colorless. Shades of gray and brown, except for a small baby cat, so out of place, lying on the riverbank, the only indication of what the defendant, Brandon Isabelle, did mere hours earlier. Danielle Hoyle was 27 years old, and she worked at FedEx. That's where she met the defendant, a meeting that would change the course of her life and so many others forever. They had a brief sexual relationship, and Danielle got pregnant with Kennedy. The defendant then started dating another woman, Artisha Stewart. She also worked at FedEx. To the defendant, she was the perfect woman. He wanted to be with Artisha, and he'd do anything to keep her. Late the night of January 30th of 2022, the defendant received word that Danielle was in labor at Regional 1. He went to the hospital, and during those late night hours and early morning hours, he was texting Artisha. Their relationship had been on the rocks for a while. Artisha didn't want to deal with another child or another baby mama in the mix. And so they were going back and forth. Artisha was talking about ending things, breaking up, and the defendant was trying to convince her to stick with the relationship. In the midst of these text messages, in the wee hours of January 31st, 2022, baby Kennedy Caitlin Hoyle, was born. Later that morning, the defendant met up with Artisha at Mud Island by the river to talk about the relationship, and nothing was resolved. Fast forward to February 1st of 2022. Danielle's released from the hospital with her precious newborn daughter, Kennedy. She takes the baby home to meet her family, and her mother, April Campbell, gets to spend one precious hour with Kennedy. She didn't know that that was the only time she would get to spend with her granddaughter, and the last time that she would see her daughter Danielle alive. Danielle left that night in her Chevy Cruze. She had Kennedy in her car seat in the back seat, and she was going to meet the defendant. He said that he had baby clothes for her, and so they met at a Matco on Brooks and Elvis Presley. Somehow, the defendant convinced Danielle to drive down Sedgwick Road where it meets Levi, a desolate, deserted, dark road. Danielle pulled to the side of the road, parked the wrong way. The defendant exited his vehicle, opened the passenger door, and fired 5 shots into Danielle's car, striking her in the face and the head. He dragged her body from the car, leaving her face down in a ditch, so dark that all that could be seen were Danielle's bright pink shoes. He took Kennedy in her car seat from Danielle's car, put her in his Chevy Malibu, and drove away from the scene, leaving Danielle face down, blood gushing from her head in the muddy rainwater. For a while, the defendant drove around with little Kennedy. He eventually made his way back to 8072 Lathbury in Cordova, which is where he lived with his parents. He went inside the house, changed clothes, put his Adidas slides in the trunk of his car, and got back in the Chevy Malibu. Kennedy was still in the car, not even 2 days old. He had one more problem to take care of. He drove to Mud Island. Real-time crime center cameras show his car going up and down Island Drive until he finally stops at the old boat ramp where the mouth of the Wolf River and the Mississippi meet. He took Kennedy from her car seat, grabbed her by the leg, and threw her into the cold, dark water, not realizing that her little baby cap had fallen from her head and lay resting on the riverbank. He got back into his car, and during this night, he's still texting with Artesia. And his phone, the GPS is on, and it's tracking everywhere he goes. A silent witness to a murderous night. He continues on to Walgreens, where he buys gifts for Artesia. He sits in the parking lot, and he texts Danielle, asking about the baby, knowing that she'll never answer. To cover his tracks. Meanwhile, Officer Cody Sutton with the Memphis Police Department is on routine patrol. He's out of the Rains precinct, patrolling South Memphis, and he drives down Sedgwick Road. He knows the area. It's an area that commonly stolen cars are left. And so when he pulls up, he doesn't think anything of it. He sees a Chevy Cruze parked on the wrong side of the road. It looks like it has a shattered window, so he runs the tag. It's dark and raining, and the tag comes back to Danielle Hoyle. So he sends officers to Danielle's home, thinking they're investigating a stolen vehicle. When they arrive, Danielle's not there. They encounter her mother, April Campbell. April informs the officers that Danielle left earlier that night to see her baby's father, that she had her newborn with her, and they hadn't heard from her and didn't know where she was. Meanwhile, Officer Sutton is still on the scene at Sedgwick. He gets out of his vehicle to take a closer look, and he finds the gruesome discovery of Danielle's body. Now at this point, the Memphis Police Department is starting to realize the gravity of missing Kennedy. Officer Sutton looked around. He found no baby. He found no car seat. Just a bag, a baby bag, with the name Kennedy in the Chevy Cruze to show that she was ever there. A city watch goes out. While this is starting to happen, the defendant has another stop to make. He drives to Walmart on Elvis Presley. He then pulls to the back of the Walmart and drops Kennedy's car seat next to a locked dumpster. And that car seat is later found by a Good Samaritan and Officer Robert Blake. He's still texting with Artesia. She finally relents and says he can come over. He beats her home to 5061 Stacy Road. She pulls up in her Kia Soul, and she can't even make it in her door before the defendant is jumping into her car, telling her that they need to leave. Danielle's family is out looking for him. They want to know where Danielle and the baby are. So Artesia drives him back to 8072 Lathbury in Cordova. That's where the defendant and Artesia Stewart are detained by the Memphis Police Department. Sergeants Wimbush and Boyd, with homicide, began to question the defendant. And through that questioning, it becomes apparent that they need to go to Mud Island. And so a frantic search begins for baby Kennedy on Mud Island. The Braden dive team, with divers Hunter Winfrey and Kyle Borland. The Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, with Agent Andy Tweed. Numerous MPD officers on the ground, air support, a helicopter, a drone, looking for baby Kennedy. But they didn't find her. All they found was that baby cat on the riverbank. As Sergeant Boyd and Wimbush continued to speak with the defendant, more information came to light. Sergeant Fowler and Officer Cole went to 5061 Stacy Road, Artesia Stewart's home. That's where the defendant had left his car, the white Chevy Malibu. They searched the car, and in the trunk of the vehicle, they found the Adidas slides that the defendant was wearing. Officer Carlisle took the clothing that the defendant was in when he was taken into custody. And he noticed that the defendant was wearing a pair of white socks with what looked to be blood on them. Officer Carlisle, the crime scene, processed both the Adidas slides and those white socks and used a presumptive test, which indicated blood. Those two items were then sent to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation for DNA testing. Agent Stephen Walzak did the testing on those items and determined that the blood on the socks and the Adidas slides belonged to Danielle Boyle. Ladies and gentlemen, once you've heard all the proof in this case, the witness accounts, the DNA, the video, once you have heard all the evidence, the state will ask that you find the defendant guilty of each and every count of the indictment.
Does the defense wish to make an opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor. Come back to center with me first. We talked in board down about how the state made the allegations, and they have. They did it through an indictment, and they did it through their opening statement. Now, it is up to them, the burden is on them to prove these allegations. To prove these allegations beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, we also talked about how you can't know for sure if truth is being told to you. And that's understandable. Truth rings like a bell on a clear day. Truth does not lend itself to interpretations. Different scenarios, different interpretations. Beyond a reasonable doubt, it's like the same thing.
Stand right here. Face your honor, raise your right hand.
Good afternoon. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Please have a seat, watch your step, and I'll need you to speak up for the benefit of Madam Court Reporter.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you please state and spell your name for the jury?
It is Cody Sutton, Cody Sutton,
And where are you employed?
at Germantown Police Department.
How long have you been at Germantown?
A little over a year
Where were you before then?
at Memphis Police Department.
And how long were you with MPD?
5 years.
And is that where you were employed back in February of 2022?
Yes.
Now, back in February of 2022, where were you assigned?
At Rain Station.
And what shift were you working?
It was Delta shift at that time.
What does that mean?
It's 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. is the hours that we worked.
And what area does Rain Station cover?
Whitehaven and Westwood.
Is that South Memphis?
Yes.
Now, were you familiar with the area of Levi and Sedgwick?
Yes.
Is that located in Memphis, Shelby County, Tennessee?
Yes.
What are the nearest larger streets?
You got Rains. It's been so long since I've been over there. There's Rains. I think Brooks is one of the other closer ones.
All right.
But the court asked the witness to keep his voice up a little bit. I'm having trouble here.
Please approach.
She can speak.
If I can get you to approach, we can address this. I'm sorry, pardon me, sir.
Not, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, may I have permission to publish?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, so Officer Sutton, just to be clear, what are we seeing right here?
That is the vehicle that I located, Levi and Sedgwick, parked on the road facing the wrong direction.
All right. So when you saw that vehicle, what was going through your mind at that point?
I thought it was either someone had left it there, parked it there, broken down, or it might be stolen.
Right? And what did you do?
I had officers go to the registered owner's address to see if they knew the whereabouts of their vehicle and waited for them to get back with me with that information.
And do you recall the name of the registered owner?
Off the top of my head, no.
And once officers went to that location, did you remain on the scene at Levi and Sedgwick?
Yes,
And did you receive information from those officers?
I did.
And what information did you receive?
They told me that
Objection to hearsay.
Judge, it's not being offered for the truth of the matter asserted, but to explain what the officer, the next actions that he took as a result of that information.
Your response?
Your Honor, then he can reply to what he did next. We don't need to provide the information that he was given through hearsay statements.
Sustain the objection?
Officer Sutton, once you received that information, what did you do?
I got out and checked the vehicle, and that's when I noticed there was blood on the driver's side door.
And did you continue to investigate?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you find?
I found the victim's body in the ditch next to the vehicle.
Did you also look for a baby?
Yes.
Did you locate a baby?
No.
And did you take that step because of information that you received?
Yes.
Now, when you initially arrived on Levi and Sedgwick and saw the vehicle, did you have body cam on at that time?
Not at first, no.
Once you discovered the body, did you then turn your body cam on?
Yes.
I'm going to hand you a flash drive and see if you recognize it. Is that a clip from your body cam from that night?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you have the opportunity to review that?
Yes.
And are those your initials on the flash drive?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask that that be the next exhibit, Exhibit 2.
Hearing no objection. And I now have the initial envelope stated to be Brandon Isabelle, 2203-799 BC 4367, and one initialed red USB marked as Exhibit 2.
Your Honor, may I have permission to publish?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, so Officer Sutton, what are we seeing here?
That is a vehicle parked on the road. It's raining, it's dark.
And at this point in time, have you called for additional officers?
Yes.
And did you also call for paramedics?
Yes.
Is that protocol in a situation like this?
Yes.
Now, it looks like there are some lights. Where are those lights coming from?
It looks like from the other vehicles that are on the scene.
Are there any street lights on Levi and Sedgwick?
No.
And does this clip just continue to show the scene as you were there?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to hand you some photographs and see if you recognize them. If you would just look at that first photograph, do you recognize that photograph?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that a photograph of?
The victim vehicle.
Or I'd ask that that be the next exhibit.
No objection.
It's Exhibit number 3.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And the next photograph.
Also the vehicle.
And can you describe which portion of the vehicle we're seeing?
This is the, looks like the passenger side of the vehicle.
Or I'd ask that that be the next exhibit, Exhibit 4.
Hearing no objection, mark it as Exhibit 4, passenger view.
And Your Honor, we did review these before the witness began.
Thank you.
And the next photograph.
Also the passenger side, just get a close-up of the front end of the vehicle, the front half of the vehicle.
Ask that that be Exhibit 5. And the next photograph.
The driver's side of the vehicle, the broken front driver's side window.
I'd ask that that be Exhibit 6. And the last photograph.
It's going to be the interior of the front driver's seat, broken glass, blood on the seat.
I'd ask that that be Exhibit 7. Permission to publish, Your Honor?
Go ahead, please.
So Officer Sutton, right here, what are we seeing?
That is the victim's vehicle parked on the left-hand side of the road.
On the record, he said, which exhibit do you have?
And that was, for the record, Exhibit 3. Now we're looking at Exhibit 4. What are we seeing?
The passenger side of the vehicle.
And does it appear that there's something hanging out of the passenger side?
Yes.
And that is Exhibit 4. Exhibit 5. What are we seeing here?
Also the passenger side of the vehicle, the front half of it.
Was there anything about this side of the vehicle?
Not that I remember.
Okay. And Exhibit 6. What are we seeing here?
That is the driver's side of the vehicle, the broken window.
And Exhibit 7. What is this?
It's the inside of the front driver's seat, broken glass, and blood on the seat.
I'm going to hand you another flash drive and see if you recognize it.
Yes.
Is that another clip from body cam from the scene?
Yes.
And are you actually visible in that clip?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask that that be Exhibit 8.
Another tiny envelope. Body worn camera clip 2. It's a blue USB with CS on the back.
Your Honor, may I have permission to publish?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, Officer Sutton, what are we seeing?
That is the vehicle. The victim's body is laying next to the vehicle in the ditch.
And are you actually in this video? Let me rewind a little bit.
Yes.
Is that you that we see approaching?
Yes.
Okay. Now, at this point, other officers are arriving, is that correct?
Yes.
And who begins to work the scene? How is that assigned?
First we contact our supervisor, they contact felony response. When they come out, they're the ones that take over the scene from that point.
And can you explain to the jury what felony response is?
Felony response is our bureau. They would come out on any felony cases that we had they pretty much took over the scene that way.
Are they the after-hours people?
Yeah.
Okay. And then at some point, did homicide make the scene?
Yes.
And was crime scene also out there?
Yes.
So is it fair to say there were several bureaus out there working the scene?
Yes.
I'm going to hand you 2 more photographs. Do you recognize that first photograph?
Yes.
And what is that a picture of?
It's a picture of the victim's body.
And is that how it looked when you discovered the body?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask that that be the next exhibit, Exhibit 9. And Officer Sutton, the next photograph, do you recognize that photograph?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that a picture of?
It's a picture of the vehicle with the body in the ditch next to it.
Your Honor, I'd ask that that be that would be the state's exhibit number 10. May I have permission to pose, Your Honor?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, what are we seeing in this photograph?
That is the victim's body lying in the ditch next to the vehicle.
And that was Exhibit 9. Exhibit 10. What are we seeing in this photograph?
It's a wider view of the victim's body next to the vehicle.
And at that point in time, has anybody moved the body?
No.
The light that we're seeing, where is that coming from?
The vehicles that are on the scene, flashlights.
When you initially pulled up on that vehicle, were you able to see a body?
No.
Now, looking back that evening, did you hear something earlier coming from that area?
I heard gunshots that could possibly have come from that area.
And did you end up remaining at Levi Sedgwick that night while the investigation was going forward?
Yes.
We'll pass the witness.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Sutton, this was a very dark area, right?
Yes.
Heavily wooded,
Yes.
a 2-lane road.
Mhm.
You indicated that people often would abandon stolen cars.
Right.
Is that area in general a somewhat high crime area?
Yes.
And there were actually several different types of shell casings out on that street,
Correct.
right in the area of where this happened.
Mhm.
And there are no cameras recording what's going on that part of the street.
No, ma'am.
And the casings that were found, they were of multiple calibers.
Right.
And when you first happened upon the scene, that was the only vehicle there,
Yes.
and Ms. Hoyle was the only person there.
Yes.
Do you recall how many different types of calibers were on the scene?
I don't.
Do you recall it being multiple
Yes.
calibers? And do you recall it being multiple casings?
Yes.
Do you recall at least one of them being a .40 caliber?
I don't recall.
Gunshots.
Yes.
That was not what drew you to the area then, right?
No.
And when you arrived on the scene, you did not know how long the car had been there?
No.
You did not know how long Ms. Hoyle had been there?
No.
You didn't actually see any of these events unfold?
No.
You don't know what was happening at the time the events unfolded?
No.
And just for clarity, you had said 23:14 on the time, for non-military time speak. That'd be 11:14 p.m., right?
Correct.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Any redirect from the state?
Just briefly, Officer Sutton, you said that this was a high crime area, is that right?
Yes.
The street signs that we see on Levi and Sedgwick, is there anything out of the ordinary about those?
There were multiple bullet holes in many of the street signs in that area.
That's That's all I have, thank you.
May I follow up briefly? Please.
Is this an area where it is uncommon to hear bullet or gunshot?
No.
Is that something that you often hear even in these more secluded areas?
Yes.
Do you drive down Levi and see Sedgwick often?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you hear gunfire frequently when you were driving along Levi and Sedgwick?
Usually when I was driving on Levi and Sedgwick, no.
Okay, but in that area?
Yeah.
Okay, you heard gunshots frequently in that area?
Yes.
That's all I have.
Thank you. You may step down. Please call your next witness.